Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing the final installment of our carbon fiber fuel door for the BMW. So yeah, it's been a long time coming and I've been procrastinating, so stay tuned if you want to see that. Yeah, so after a lot of trial and error and a ton of revisions to the molds and the process that I'm using, I think I'm finally ready to make one of these fuel doors. So yeah, let me show you what I got going on here. So we got our molds. You've seen these in a previous video. If you haven't, I'll put the link in the description, or I'll try to figure out how to use one of the little card thingies in the corner. So yeah, this is kind of everything that I got going on. If you've watched any of the other videos, you've kind of seen this process already. We cut up some carbon. This time I'm going to be using this 4x4 twill just to see. We're kind of still in the experimental phase. So we got our carbon, we got our infusion mesh, we got our peel ply, we got our bag, vacuum, our pot, our vacuum. This is the infusion resin that I've switched to. It seems to work the best. Also, I figured out a lot of the porous surfaces that I had in the other videos were from my spray tack that I was using. I was using 3M Super 77 as well as 3M's. I tried 3M Super 71, and this is the only stuff that I found that is actually producing a good quality product for me and the resins that I'm using. So that's what I'm going to keep using, and that's what I've had success with. So we're going to stick with it. Then I've got my tape, and then I've got my plumbing for the resin to come in and the vacuum to suck down. So yeah, I think I'm just going to put this together real quick. If you want to see more detail on what I'm doing here, you can go check out one of my other videos where I show some of my failures, but ultimately how to do this. So here we are, all bagged up. Yeah, so now we're just gonna turn on. So yeah, now we're ready to turn this vacuum on and get these bags all sucked down. Get some of this air out. We've got the inlet for the resin blocked off at the moment. I'm gonna do a double infusion here. At least I'm going to try. We'll see what happens. Yeah, so the only problem with this is I won't be able to cut off 1 feet at a time. Because A, I don't have enough clamps to do that, but B, this is pretty much the only spot I can clamp it right now. So yeah, I think it'll work. Shouldn't be too bad. Worst case scenario, we just get some resin up in the pot and in my catch on the inside. So it should be okay. Yeah, let's vacuum this thing down, see what that looks like. We have left this here for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and we have no leakage. So that means we don't, so that means we're not gonna run into any problems when we go to infuse this with air coming in random holes. So we're ready to mix some epoxy and pour it in here. Should be exciting. We mixed up 8 ounces of resin just for ease of calculation. It takes 3 parts epoxy to 1 part hardener. It says 100 parts epoxy to 34 parts hardener. So do 6 ounces of epoxy and add 2 ounces of hardener. And that should give us enough to have extra in our lines and extra in the cup, as well as hopefully have some nice parts, you know, because that's really what we're after. So yeah, let's infuse this. All right, first thing we'll do is pour this epoxy into our cup here so that we have resin to be used. All right, so we're able to get about 5 ounces, maybe 5.5 ounces of epoxy in here. Which should be good because these should only carry 2 per piece. So yeah, let's see how this goes. As the cup runs, suck some out, I'll put some more in. We'll adjust as needed. Vacuum pump on. Open up this valve. We have a positive vacuum on our parts. Negative vacuum. We have a vacuum on our parts. Active vacuum, I guess. Crack this line. We get better clamps, so I can control the resin flow a little bit better. So yeah, at the moment it's kind of sucks it right in pretty fast. So there we go. All right, try to regulate some of the flow. Something like that. Add our resin to our cup. If you can even hear what I'm saying. It's honestly pretty satisfying to watch. You can watch it just wet out. So there you can see after it gets past this infusion mesh, it kind of hits this resin break, which will slow the resin to hopefully keep it from collecting inside the hose. But yeah, it looks like our infusion's done on both pieces. So it's time to clamp this thing off. Pop it right here. All right, well, there you have it. That's pretty much how you infuse a part. So I need to get a better clamp for these hoses. They make one that has like a little screw top so you can like adjust the flow in and out. And I think that'll help with just getting a better saturated part, not getting any bubbles. Also, it'll help with ballooning. So ballooning is when the resin will like collect here, and then this will get like all floppy and loose because it's just full of resin. So then you end up with too much resin in the whole part altogether. So that's also not good. So you're trying to prevent the ballooning while letting it kind of wet out. It's like it's a balancing act, really. So yeah, I think I need to get a better set of clamps, something other than fuel hose clamps from Harbor Freight, right? So yeah, but for now, that should be good. We're gonna leave this here for 24-ish hours, and we'll come back and see what she looks like. Hopefully all will be well, and we can give it a trim, and this will be the last time I make this part, you know? Probably not, but we can hope, right? We can hope. So, yeah, so, I mean, I guess it's gonna be like 12 seconds, 1 second. It's gonna be like 1 second for y'all. It's gonna be an eternity for me, because I'm gonna have to sit here and watch this, and I'm gonna wait an entire day before I take it apart. It's really hard. It's really hard. So, yeah, I'll see you guys in 24 hours. Okay, here we are. Got a new shirt. It's a new day. It's been like 22, 23 hours, and these guys are ready to be demolded. So, let's do that. See if she comes up. Release agent isn't working as well as it usually does, but we still have a beautiful part. And that's what matters, let's be honest. Look at that guy. All right, let's get the other one out. Oh, yeah. That looks amazing. Yes. And that's what the back looks like. Here are our parts all demolded and beautiful. So you can kind of see how the 4x4 twill looks compared to the 2x2. This is like your more traditional, what you'd find on all the parts you'd buy for a regular car. You know, like a hood or a trunk or something, and then this is just something a little bit different. Kind of like this one a lot. So we did mess up this corner, so it didn't cover all the way, so there's a little bit of 2x2 underneath that you can kind of see, but I mean, overall, I'd give it 1 each thumbs up. So yeah, next we're gonna have to trim this. So we got to cut out all these little voids so that we can put our the thing that does the stuff in the thing, the hinge and then the latch up here in the corner. So yeah, let's get to trimming. You're gonna want some gloves, very important. You're also going to want a mask because you should not be breathing anything that has to do with carbon. And some glasses, extra pieces for your Dremel, a drill bit to start some of these holes for that guy, a vacuum, because once again, you can't stress this enough, you do not want to breathe anything that is coming off of these. Whether that be the plastic from the epoxy or the carbon. The carbon is akin to asbestos in your lungs, so. Yeah, wear a mask, wear a respirator. So yeah, with that being said, we're gonna cut these things out. All right, here are our parts, all nice and trimmed up. And I have already test fit all of these pieces to slide into it, onto it, and it seems to work pretty good. So the next thing we need to work on is bonding these together. The product that I have chosen to use here is this Pro Set, and I believe that the actual product is the ADV 175, and the 273 is the hardener. And we have a fast hardener here, so. Looks like our work time is 20 minutes. Clamp off cure time is 3 hours. So at what, 72 degrees, minimum cure time is 45. It's like 90 degrees out here, so that'll probably go even faster. But I will give it 3 hours because that's the right thing to do. So that's what we're gonna do. I have already prepped these surfaces underneath, as you can see here. We have to clean them with some acetone or something, but everything just kind of fits. And I've ensured that there's no overlap from the bottom piece, so you're not gonna be able to see it to the top. And then I'm going to use these two molds, right? So this mold I made a while ago, and it came with these little dimples, and there was some mess ups up here, and it just, like, it was a good mold, it was a pretty good mold, but we had some issues with it, so I don't use this one to create the top piece down here, but I do use it to glue them up. So this one fits in there perfectly, and it aligns everything. So it's a little warped, so I just put something on top of it to kind of hold it there, and it just like locks it in because it has all the right features and it just works together. So that's what I use to line these up. So I'll put the adhesive on here, we'll set it together, put the whole thing in here, put it together, give it a little bit of weight or a clamp, and then we let it sit for 3 hours or however long is good for you to make a good part, you know, in your climate. So yeah, one really important thing with this is you need to make sure that you have a mold release on the on your molds. And the reason for that is that the adhesive that you're using to bond the two pieces of carbon would just bond your carbon to your mold through any of the spillage through the edges. So yeah, make sure you don't put too much bonding material on your carbon, and then make sure you also have a mold release on your mold. So I'm gonna put this mold release on. Next you're gonna see me put this adhesive on, and then we're gonna clamp it, and then we're gonna walk away for a few hours. So yeah, enjoy. All right, well, here's our part after being bonded. You can see it's one piece now. I was not completely happy with how far back I sanded the bottom piece, because you can see a gap all the way around, and I've done better, but it looks good for what it is, right? It's gonna be completely functional. This is inside, you're not really gonna see it unless you have it open, so I think we're okay. So yeah, Our next step here is to actually clear coat these. This is the first time I'm ever gonna try clear coating carbon, so it should be interesting. So I actually have 3 of these now. This one's actually been on the car for a couple of months. You can see what I'm talking about with the edge being a little bit better on this one. So yeah, like I can definitely do better if you compare those 2 edges right there, but it's fine. This one's also not very good. So we're gonna try to clear coat all 3 of these and see how they look. So first thing I'm gonna do is rough these up with some 600 grit because I don't wanna go too deep into the carbon, but we need to give the clear coat something to stick to. So yeah, let's get these sanded and cleaned up, and then we'll start mixing up our clear. All right, so here's our clear. We're gonna mix 4 parts clear, 1 part hardener. So I'm just gonna go 5 ounces, 4 ounces, 1 ounce. If we need more, we'll mix more. We should be okay, hopefully. All right, 4 parts clear, 1 part hardener. There we go. Give it the stirs. All right, I got my gun here, kind of held into this drawer so it holds straight up. And we're just gonna add our clear into the gun. Just like so. Now I've already got my pressure regulator set up at the tank. I know we should be doing it at the gun, but I don't have a gauge for my gun. So we're just doing it at the tank, or into the hose, I guess, and I think that'll be good enough. So yeah, I'm gonna put my mask on now so you're not gonna be able to hear much, but I'm going to spray this piece of cardboard to get my fan kind of right, and then we'll spray the piece of the carbon. So that's what we'll see next. Well, this is how it turned out, our parts. This is the part we just made, so this one's kind of the one that I care about. This one, it had a bunch of like hair in it, and I tried to get it out with some masking tape. I tried to kind of copy a video that I saw online of some dude doing it with masking tape when he got some runs, and he kind of like pulled it off and then sprayed over there, and it was fine for him. But I think I tried to do it once the clear was a little bit too cured, so it didn't really level back out. So we got some weird dimples in here, but that's okay because I'm not even going to use this one. This one was more of a test piece, as well as this one. This is the one that we originally had on the car that was kind of dull. Now you can see it's beautiful. And then this is the one we're going to be putting on the car. So yeah, let's assemble the hint. You can see there's like some spots as well, but I mean, this is good enough for me, right? Like, it doesn't need to be perfect. It's really a proof of concept, and I'll probably end up making another one. So this is just one that I can say, hey, I clear coated, got the idea down. It's practice. We'll do better next time. So yeah, let's put this thing together and put it on the car. All right, she's all assembled. Time to put her on the car. right, there she is, all installed. Works as advertised. Makes a nice little clunk when you close her. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty good. You can see my reflection. So yeah, I think that's all this is really going to be. I kind of like this 4x4 twill because you can kind of see it from like a further distance away, whereas like the 2x2 twill just kind of looks like black the further away from you get. So this is really cool just because of the reflection, the way it looks. So, and then because I know you are all dying to know, we're going to weigh these in grams so you can see the weight savings we get from changing to a carbon fiber gas door flat boy. If you want to save some weight, this is how you do it, specifically with this. No other part of the car matters, just this. All right, so there you go, scale zeroed out. This is the original one, all steel, and that is what it weighs, 266 grams. This is the one I previously had on the car, 52 grams. 52. So, yeah, you can see that it's pretty much a fifth of the weight of the original one. Again, not that that would really matter. Like, it's a gas door. Nobody cares, right? But just as a proof of concept of what your steel component weighs versus what your composite component is going to weigh. Specifically carbon fiber, right? Because you can have composite fiberglass or, you know, any other kind of composite. But yeah, so it's kind of cool. It's kind of a trivial item to have done, right? But it's mostly just a proof of concept, right? So now I know that I could put something together that is top and bottom, and it look right and function properly. So now for like a trunk or a boot lid, wherever you are in the world, or a bonnet, I guess. But yeah, the proof of concept for that. So now I feel a little bit more confident before I go waste, you know, hundreds of dollars in carbon and material to make a mold and then a part for a hood that potentially would be a disaster. So yeah, if you have any questions or comments about anything in the video or maybe something that I didn't cover, please leave it in the comments below. I'll get back with you. Yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace.